Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Burlap and Lace Chic. My name is Cheryl, and I am with MNC Treasures. A lot of you know me from my page, and I am just here to help Miss Jo out while she's not feeling too well. So as you guys jump on, make sure you tell me you're here, and if you're new, make sure you tell me that as well. We are going to try to do something that I do a lot of, but we don't usually use it on brown craft paper. I thought I would try something new and see what happens. Now, I may not get any comments. It looks like they're going to be stingy with comments tonight, and I can't even see if anybody's on. So Mr. Mike will be down here in just a second. So please, if you jump on and you can see me and hear me, please just let me know, hey, I see you. Janice, oh, very good. Are you able to see me? I am, you know who I am. This is Cheryl with MNC Treasures, and I am on Miss Jo's page, Burlap and Lace Chic. FB would not let me move it also over to my page, which is highly not normal, but we're going to see what, we're just going to go with it. So, like I said, we're going to try to do a new, it's an old technique, a standard technique, but we're going to try to do it on brown craft paper. Now, where this came from, guys, is we got something in the mail, and it had this long string of brown craft paper that was wadded up for packing material. And I thought, well, that looks rustic. It looks like it's, you know, going to work for something. So I freehanded, hello, Teresa. I freehanded a bunny head out of it, okay? We are going to glue it and we are going to stuff it, and then we're going to do something to it. So if you wanted to, you could get scrapbook scissors and do different designs around. In fact, I had a pair that I had laying here a minute ago, and I was just going to do one section of it. And I don't see them at all. Nope. So we'll just do something different. Hello, Miss Teresa. We are just going to use pinking shears, and I'm just going to do it on the ears for the pinking shears, just to give it some, you know, or the face. We might just do it on the head. So I'm just going to take it and line them up, and I did cut two out of, at the same time I just folded the paper, so if it's a little off, it's okay. But we'll do pinking shears after we stuff the head, and then we're going to do our little normal thing. So I'm just going to use hot glue. I'm going to start kind of up here at the top, and we're just going to make sure that we get some semblance of a lining up of the things. You may get a little ridge if you're doing it. Hello, honey. Yeah, honey. How are you? And I'm just going to go around the ears. Now, we're only going to do the top part, and then we'll stuff his ears, because the ears, we want to make sure we get it to where they will stay sticking up. And that's not always an easy thing to do, but we're going to do something to them to make them do that. We're going to use a wire and make them do that. But I'll just do this top part, and then we'll stuff the ears. Now, stuffing is another thing. If you guys have an old pillow, a throw pillow, a bed pillow, anything that's you're getting rid of, keep it for the stuffing mix. Or if you don't, I mean, if you've got polyfill, I do have a bag of polyfill that came from my mom's craft stash. And if you don't have that, you can go to Walmart and buy a $3 pillow, a $3 or $4 pillow. It's cheaper than buying a bag of polyfill or stuffing things. Okay, so we kind of have the ears. And like I said, one's fat, one's skinny. I'm not real straight cutter, especially when the paper was all wadded up. So I'm just going to round up these edges just a little bit before we call it good. And I do see my cut line for my pencil line for where I was kind of trying to make a bunny head anyway, right? Good evening, everyone. If you're expecting Miss Jo, I apologize. She is still not feeling well. She's got to get some insurance issues straightened out so she can get her meds straightened out, because they tell her she's not supposed to be on a med, and she's been on it for quite some time. And you guys kind of know how that goes with the insurance issues. It never is an easy struggle, that's for sure. Hello, Linda Brill. How are you? If you're jumping on and not familiar with me, my name is Cheryl, and I am with MNC Treasures. Now, for the ears, I'm going to take, this is just like florist wire. It's I don't even know what they call it. Did Sheila get it moved over?
No.
Okay. So you just have to, here's your mic if you want to be on it. Although yours is flashing. And mine is good, but you can turn yours off and turn it back on. Sorry. My husband Mike usually reads messages for me, and he's just now coming into the room. He had to take care of fur babies. And knowing our fur babies, they're going to need it again. Hello, Mary T. How are you? And I'm just going to form like an ear. Okay? Doesn't have to match exactly because we can form it a little bit. And we are still going to stuff it. But we don't want to do it too much. Sorry, guys, if you tried to find me on our page. That was the plan for tonight, but that didn't happen. So now we have this. Now we can squeeze it up in there. So I'll squeeze it because I could have put it in before we glued it. But I don't think I'm actually going to stuff the ears. Thank you, Mary. I don't think we're going to stuff the ears. We're just going to glue in this little wire just so we can, if we wanted to when we're done, we can bend the ear. We can bend one forward and leave one straight. So now this ear has wire in it and this ear doesn't. As you can, you know, this one you could bend and it would stay bent. This one, if you bend it, it's just going to pop right back. Oh no, my video froze. Am I froze for anybody else? Hello, Inez. How are you? So then we're going to do the same thing for the other ear. And if you hear another voice in the background, it could be our bird. He likes to talk when he hears me talking to people. Unless I'm in the room with him, and then he doesn't talk to me. Okay, I'm good, Janice. Did you get yours to click on? Okay. So Mr. Mike is here. It's okay, Mary? Good. You know, there has been so much stuff going on with Mr. FB that none of us know where we're going, whether we're going or coming. Like I said, we usually have the ability to go live on 2 pages at the same time. And I go to do that tonight, and it's not there. So I haven't tried it doing Miss Jo's page before because it was something that came up, you know, new since the last time I've done her page. But hello, Susan. Welcome to Burlap and Lace Chic. I am Cheryl from M&C Treasures. And we are messing with a wrinkled up piece of brown craft paper. Guys, if you have old paper bags, you could do the same thing. I just happen to have this packing material. And I thought, gee willikers, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm just going to go with it. And we'll just see if what I want to do works on it. Now, I am going to go, I'm leaving a little bit of room on the outside of this so that we can use our pinking shears and give it a little bit of pizzazz. Yes, Mary T. Spread the magic, guys, so Miss Jo's page gets out there in the Facebook world.
Hey, Miss Janice. Hey, Mary T.
Now, we're not going to stuff it a whole lot. And if Miss Jo, I did not see Miss Jo on, but she may be, and if not, she'll see it on replay. She's having trouble. It's making her sleep a lot, the stuff that's going on, so...
Oh,
she just
sounds
needs,
like a synthroid problem.
She needs to get this crazy insurance thing straightened out. Hi, Karen. Guys, I appreciate you guys jumping on with me. And those of you who don't know me again, I'm Cheryl from M&C Treasures, and I'm helping Miss Jo out tonight. She asked me this afternoon, and I told her I couldn't do the 4 o'clock, which is what she usually does. And I told her I was, you know, planning on going on at 7 anyway. So now I'm just stuffing it just enough. And guys, I forgot to look up how to paint a bunny face, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure out what it looks like in a minute, I guess.
Paint him with a crooked smile.
I could paint him with a crooked smile like Mr. Mike has. Yes, she needs prayers, and we need to pray that the insurance company will get their act together.
It's an insurance company. Insurance companies don't care about the...
And like she said, she wished she could talk to somebody that didn't have a language barrier problem with her, and I totally empathize with that. I usually start off the conversation of get me somebody who speaks English clearly, please. If I live in this,
get upset and start crying.
If I live in this country, I think I should be able to get somebody who speaks English. Okay, so we have our little stuffed bunny head. Now, ouch, that's a little warm.
And it was a beautiful day here in Tennessee.
It was absolutely gorgeous. There was a little bit of a breeze, nothing like yesterday. Yesterday it tried to blow us off the mountain.
But we were sitting on our front porch.
Just with the dogs and just having a good old time. Hello, Diane. How are you?
The deer came early, so
hey, Minnie Cece.
Jax could see them.
So we are going to try our hand at doing a regular technique on this bunny face, guys.
Hey, Diane Booth.
Cheryl may be crazy, but we're going to try.
Well, she's crazy because she married me, ladies.
Now, I'm just going to go around. Like I said, I was going to grab my scrapbook scissors. I know right where they are, but I'm just going to use my pinking shears. I don't use my pinking shears usually much for material unless it's something that's going to ravel, and I don't use them that often, so I won't get turned over to the scissors police for using fabric scissors on something that's...
Yes, Minnie Cece, I am feeling better. I was out all day playing in the dirt, as my wife calls it. You notice the face that I got, too.
No. I asked you not to do that. Okay. So, we have little bunny foo-foo. And like I said, his ears will flop still because they have that wire in them. But we're going to be able to bend one of them. And we're going to try to do that with what we're going to do. So,
you have a crooked ear like that.
If this flops, guys, we're in this together. I need to get my pink out. And I totally forgot about that.
Do you have your brushes and do you have water?
Yes, I do. We are going to start with Pink Parfait. Now, what we're going to try to do on this bunny face is we're going to make it look old because we're going to try to crackle on it. I've never crackled on paper. I've crackled on material. I've crackled on canvas. I've crackled on wood and metal and glass, but never on paper. So we're going to try it. We're going to see what happens to this. All right, so I'm just going to go down the center of each ear with, this is actually called Pink Parfait by Apple Barrel. It is bright pink, but remember, we're going to be putting another paint on top of it to try to crackle. So this is just trying to get people to think out of the box of using materials that you may have laying around the house. Hello, Susan. I know Miss Joe likes to do that, you know, and just use up what you have. And one thing is we're going to have a gray and brown bunny. It's not going to be all brown. It's not going to be all gray. And it's definitely not going to be all... He's going to have white or off-white all the way around him. But it won't be right in your face. So I'm just painting the center of the ears. The only thing you don't want to do when you're on something like that... Hello, my bestie, Sheila. Did you get my message, honey, to try to do that? I was going to say I should get paint out. But if you saturate your paper, because it is paper, it will get soggy and it will be a mess. So don't put on a whole lot of extra paint is all I'm saying. And we will dry it real good in between coats. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're not perfect. I don't think I would want to be perfect. Other people might want me to be, but I'm okay with me, okay? Now, the face of our bunny we're going to do in, it's called Pewter Gray. It's Apple Barrel. It's just an acrylic. And that's why I said we're going to have a brown and gray bunny, because I'm going to not do the whole thing. You're going to be able to see some of the brown and some of the gray. I just wanted a couple of different colors in there. If I can find a brush that'll work. And this one's not real important that you use like a smooth brush, because you don't care if it's, you know, if you see those brush strokes, because we want it to look old. And then I'm just going to do in here. You can do the back if you want. You can leave it brown. I'm going to choose probably to leave it brown right now. Hey, Tracy, good evening. And again, you just don't want to saturate your paper. And I hope this works anyway, guys. So we'll find out together. Somebody was talking about crackling, and I said, well, I'll try to crackle. And then I thought, wait, I'll try to crackle on that brown paper. I've never tried it. And, you know, That's why I like to do things that you guys want to see, that maybe, you know, why mess up your project? Because it doesn't always work out real well for us either. But, you know, I'm willing to try anything once or twice. Because the first time is kind of a learning experience. So, okay, so he's gray on his face. He's got brown in him because, you know, they can be goofy colors. Hello, Jennifer. How are you?
Hey, Sheila, my bestie.
If you guys aren't familiar with me, my name is Cheryl, and I am with M&C Treasures, and I'm one of Joe's friends. Miss Joe is still not feeling well enough to come on, but I told her that I was scheduled on my page at 7, and I thought it was going to let me go on both of our pages, which it usually does, but not today. Mr. Facebook says, not today. So I'm glad you guys all are here. And if you could spread the blessing, spread the magic. I know. He is filtering out everything, Janice. Everything. And like I said, I went on and I was like, whoa, I can't go to my page too. So it's kind of one of those learning things. And I think they're doing so many updates that they don't know who has what anymore. So check our page now. But I am definitely okay helping Miss Joe. That's not a problem. That's what we all do, is when we have problems, we jump in and help each other. I was on Sonia's She Said Sensations yesterday. I get that tongue-tied really well. But thank you guys for being here. Is there comments coming through? Yeah. Go ahead and read those. Mike did get it on our page, so he is going to read some comments. So if you don't see the comments that he's saying hi to people, please, please don't feel bad. It's a Facebook thing, and we're just going to go with it. And we might make another one, a bigger one, or a boy, or we might make one a girl and one a boy. So it doesn't take much stuffing to make these. I just want to make sure it's good and dry, because when I go and put 2 more coats of wet stuff on, I definitely don't want it saturating the bag and making it go back to its liquidy state. And I see that's one thing, and I didn't think about, guys, is when I heated this up with the heat tool to dry the paint, the hot glue is letting go. So you might want to use some other kind of glue to do this. Like Fabri-Tac would do it, even though it's not fabric, it would hold it.
Thank you for the hearts, thumbs up, and good emojis.
So if I do another one, we'll make sure that we glue it with something different, okay?
Or what about paint it first, then glue it?
Oh, I guess I could do that, maybe. Now I have gray paint because something's not dry. I guess that's one way to find out if your project's dry, right? So yes, I know you guys, Miss Joe had originally said she was going to be back today, and that just did not work out. So let me see where this, oh, I see where it's at. It's this little, right in the creases it wanted to puddle apparently, and that's where it stayed dry.
Hey, Beth Price.
And guys, Mike may be saying hello to people on both pages, so just so you know. Now, I'm just going to take, and I'm going to put glue all over everything. We're going to try to crackle on this white, on this brown paper. I am going to just take do I want to use that? No, I don't. I was going to use a sponge, but I want to make sure that I leave enough on there so it makes it crackle. And I'm going to put it over the brown too, so that we can see if without painting anything, could you have had a solid brown bunny without any paint? So by the time I get done with part of it, it probably will be dry enough that I don't need to. I do crackle, what works for me, and that is I usually dry it just a tad.
Diane Booth, it's okay. We understand. There's always replay out there.
What's up?
So you have a good day.
Thanks for jumping on, Diane.
I just wanted to say hey to you and Cheryl.
Thanks, Diane. You're a sweetheart. So like I said, by the time I get the face painted with this glue, it probably will be okay for me to just start putting the white paint up on top of the where we started from. The bigger or the more glue you use, the thicker the glue coating is, the better your crackle will be.
How's my bestie doing today?
Who, your girlfriend?
Of course.
Mr. Mike has a Facebook girlfriend he's never met. And it's my bestie, Sheila from Alabama. Hello, Debbie V. How are you, honey?
Don't even get involved, folks. It's very, very strange.
Sheila and I are a God-given gift to each other. We are both assured of that. We have so much in common. And we met on Facebook. We hope to meet this summer, Lord willing, and everything goes good. Because now we're a lot closer together. We're like 4 hours apart instead of like 13 hours apart. So.
And we just introduced me as her other half. She's my best half, and I'm her other half.
So here we go. Here it is with all the glue on it. Now, I'm just going to start with white paint, white acrylic paint. And we're going to go up at the top.
Best price says yes, meet up.
Yeah, we want to really bad. I have ran into some people that are following and friends on our page. Good evening, Blakely. Good evening, Lisa. And I didn't even know that they lived as close as they do. It's about a half hour, but everything is a half hour for us.
Hey, WB.
It's kind of crazy. Everything is a half hour. So I'm just going to put on this white. And I'm going to try to go just in one direction. They say you can do both. I don't do both. I never have. And you try not to go over and over and over something, which I almost dripped paint right on me.
Where's your apron at?
Fold it up over here in the drawer. I don't like wearing an apron. It's no fun.
Good place for it.
We want to meet up really bad, Beth, and it will happen. It's just timing has got to be. And I probably end up with white all over the back of my bunny, but that's okay. We don't care. He might be a speckled bunny by the time we get done. And if I miss some, it's going to be okay because we're just going to see that brown through it anyway. We're hoping. And I'm telling you, the paper is definitely getting saturated. So this may be a flop. We may not be able to get it. And you might, like Mr. Mike said, it might have been better to paint it first before I put it in the, glued it together and did the polyfill. But I don't know. Has anybody ever crackled on brown paper bags or craft paper? Let me know if you have. Because I maybe should have asked that question before we started and just not done it this way. Okay. Let's see what we have. Let's wipe my hands off and we are going to dry it. But I'm going to try to dry it from a little bit further away so that I don't unglue the rabbit. Whoops, that's a glue gun. That won't work too well, will it? Thank you, Minnie CC. So we're just going to start drying and see if we get crackle on this. But this is the way I do crackle on everything. And I do love to experiment. I love to see, because glue pulls different on, like I said, it's soaked in kind of. But it is going to crackle, just maybe not as much as normal. But that's okay. We learn. That's how we learn, is these things. I'm going to take a drink of tea while I'm waiting.
Look at that. You can do two things at once, folks.
I have been parched all day long. I think it's the summer weather that's coming. Right? That's true, Janice.
Sorry for the delay, folks. I had to plug my phone in.
Mr. Mike's been he's been playing music. When he goes outside, no matter where he's at, he turns music on his phone. Well, the ears did crackle. They're not completely dry, but I didn't want to keep drying up there because I don't want to, like I said, make that hot glue separate and have it come apart.
Janice says, I'm learning as you go.
That's good, Janice. Like I said, I learn from other crafters. I mean, it's kind of, we all get inspiration, and some parts of this may, and some parts of it may not, but it kind of will tell us if it's going to.
Beth Price loves watching you experiment.
There's nothing better, right?
That's why we always say it's live, it's not memorized, folks.
And I thought about taking a little piece and trying this beforehand, and I thought, if it doesn't work, you guys will know never to do it, right? Now, you can either paint a face on it, or you can leave it, just plain without and make it do something. I don't know. We may antique it some just to put some ink on it. We did not, we did not stuff the ears. I wanted something different, so we put that wire in them so we can bend them if we want to.
Yes,
It's crackling, you're right.
It
It is crackling. And even the ears, you can start seeing some of the pink through it, and you can see my mess on the back. One day next week on our page, we're going to go out and visit Mr. Shakespeare out in the front room. I don't know if I'm going to Kraft out there, or if we're just going to go visit Mr. Shakespeare for a quickie or something like that. Thanks, Minnie. But it is taking quite a bit longer to dry this, guys, than it normally does. And I think that, again, is it's on paper and it soaks it up. So you've got to get it dried up, plus dry up the moisture out of the brown paper. And you definitely don't want to hold it in one place too long, even on this, because you'll have toasted Mod Podge or toasted Elmer's glue, and it will bubble just like a marshmallow, and it'll brown and it'll bubble up. So that's something to watch for. If you've got time to let it dry naturally, that's probably the best.
And always don't hold your glue tool in one spot.
Heat tool.
Heat tool, heat nug.
It wasn't quite dry on this side. So do you guys think we should put a face on it or not?
Face.
If you think we need to put a face on it, give me a heart if you think you want me to put a face on it, or if you want me to put like a bow and a little bit of florals, you tell me what you want.
There's burlap face and sheet.
Hello, Miss Joe. I hope you're feeling well. We've got all kinds of prayers for you up above that people have wished you. And that your insurance will get their act together. And we are making a bunny out of brown craft paper that I got in, and it's speckled on the back because I laid it down on top of wet paint. And then we crackled it, trying to see if we could crackle on brown craft paper. And like I said, it's just a hand sketch, so one ear's fat, one ear's skinny, that's okay. You don't see much of the brown, so most of the crackle looks, you can see the pink in his ears. This one really crackled good, and then you can see the big crackles in his face with where we put the gray. You don't see much of the brown that we didn't paint come through. It just didn't, for some reason, even though there's glue there, it did not seem to want to... And I am just dabbing up this paint a little bit because there's a little pool of paint over here. I don't know why. Even though I dried it forever on this side. But I'm going to get the excess off, and then we're going to dry it again real quick. And then we'll do some things to it. Hello, Penny. How are you, hon? I hear you, Joe. I hope you got it, girl. These insurance companies think that they can tell you what you're taking a med for, and they're not the doctor. They're just pencil pushers.
Hey, Penny.
Again, the next one that we make will definitely be put together with a different kind of glue because the heat tool wants to make it come apart. Now, this may be a real disaster. Cheryl drawing eyes and a nose and a mouth. Okay, so Mr. Bunny needs a nose, and I know that's kind of like an upside down heart. So I'm going to kind of do this. And guys, if this makes a total disaster, I'll be so sorry. Thank you for spreading the blessings, Miss Penny. Then he has to have a mouth. And it is still kind of spongy, just to let you guys know. All right, now I'm just going to take some black and we're going to outline this, but his nose we're going to actually do in pink. Good evening, Lynn. How are you? If you tap on the comment, I know it's disappeared for some people. If you tap on the comment box, you sometimes can find those little floating emojis and things there.
Or you can slide it over.
Yeah, sometimes you can slide it to one side or the other and then slide it back and it'll do fine. That's not small enough. Good thing I have all my paintbrushes right here. Trying to find one that's going to be small enough to do what I want to do.
That's okay, Joe. We'll take that advice.
What'd she say?
Just throw it over your shoulder if you don't like it.
If it flops, that's where it's going. It's going over this shoulder. Miss Joe does that if she's got something that just totally irritates her.
Or she'll throw it at me.
Yeah, why can't I throw it at Mr. Mike? I could throw it across the room. You're right. Throw it over your shoulder and forget about it. Now, we will give him some whiskers, too. And if you hear the cackling bird in the background, that's Mr. Shakespeare.
Lynn, this is Cheryl and Mike from M&C Treasures. We are guest presenters on burlap, lace, and chic.
Did you understand that, Miss Lynn? My name is Cheryl. That's Mr. Mike that was talking to you. And we are on burlap and lace chic. Miss Joe is not feeling well. So we are guesting on her page today.
Yeah, we might go viral if we do that.
What?
If you throw the
if I throw the bunny at him, that might help. Okay, this is Folk Art Seashell Pink. It's a real pale pink, and that's what I'm going to do his nose in. And I keep saying him, but I'm probably going to put flowers and a bow on it, so it's probably going to be a girl before we're done. So, the bunny. That's what we're going to call it.
It.
We can call it Thumper. We can call it anything. So like I said, I was supposed to be on my page, and then I thought we were going to be able to do both pages, but I'm here for Miss Joe because that's what I do. So again, you guys, if you spread the magic out there so people will get Miss Joe's page notifications and get those algorithms going, that would be great. I'll show you what we got so far. We got little bunny Foo-Foo's mouth and his nose. I hope it looks okay. We're going to give him some whiskers real quick before we give him eyes. The eyes are what I'm really scared about.
And he's got a crooked smile.
No, I couldn't, Miss Joe. It won't let me. There's no cross-post option there. I don't know. I've been on an admin on Miss Joe's page for a long time, and I don't know if we've got me in there differently than I need to be to cross-post, but we'll figure that out. It's okay. It's okay.
Hello, Susan Wells from Virginia.
All right, we're going to give him some whiskers. Guys,
and those are just straight lines, if you forgot.
I am not an artist by all means, so please overlook the painting. We did this mainly to see if we would be able to crackle on this brown paper bag. Well, it's actually a piece of shipping material that came in something that we got in the mail. I don't even remember what it was. Oh, probably our security cameras. And Amazon stuffs a ton of stuff in, and his whiskers are not going to be even.
Hey,
oh, well.
Pam T from Texas.
Hey, Pam, if you're...
His whiskers are off.
His whiskers, he's got his head tilted, okay? We'll just do it like that. We'll just do him like that. Sorry. Hey, for a first time drawing a rabbit's face, I'm doing okay, I think. Yes, Miss Pam, you are on Burlap and Lace Chic, and the owner of this page is Joe, and she is in the comments, but she is ill. So now the fun part, eyes, right? We are from, Miss Joe is actually from down by Atlanta.
Aylin Harris from Texas.
And we live in East Tennessee.
You can make it a Chinese bunny.
My husband in his comments. He gonna get me in trouble on Facebook. And like I said, it is still a little damp because the glue on this brown paper and the layers of paint, because we put the gray down first. If you missed the beginning part, we put the gray down on the face of him, or not all the way. We made sure we left some brown, even though you can't see the brown very well. And we put pink in the ears, and we put some wire in the ear to make it a little bit easier to make it different.
Yes, that's right, Dennis. I'm going to the doghouse. Wait a minute, my doghouse isn't built yet.
Michael's doghouse is not done yet. We haven't even broken ground on it. But he will get one, and we will make sure, ladies, that he goes to it quite frequently. Hello, Miss Lynn.
Hey, Deborah N.
So, guys, thank you for being here for Miss Joe and supporting her page when she's down. All right, well, you guys are going to have to give me a thumbs up or a ucky for my face. Like I said, I'm not an artist. I want to be. Hi, Vina. How are you? You are on Burlap and Lace Chic. I am not Joe, if you're used to Miss Joe. If you're new to Miss Joe's page, guys, make sure... How you like that? Like I said, his whiskers are a little off, so he's just going to be a little off. And I'll give her eyebrow or eyelashes, because remember I said I think this is going to be a girl bunny. Whoops, and I just got black paint from somewhere. I'll touch it up with white. You're welcome, Miss Joe. Thank you. Hey, Mary Beth.
It's a beauty mark. The black paint's a beauty mark.
Mr. Mike and his... making me feel better, but it still keeps going. Oh, I might be getting it off of a whisker. The laugh in the background is Mr. Shakespeare. If it was perfect, it would come from a machine. You're right. And there's too much of that, right, Miss Lynn?
And we've got names for the bunny already.
Oh, no.
And the name is Bunny B. Kraken.
Bunny be cracked. Oh, that's good, because Bunny is cracked. He could be Humpty Dumpty Bunny. Hello, Miss Sherry. How are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, Sherry. How you doing, hon?
And if you're not used to the guy in the background, that's Mike Juan, as Miss Joe dubbed him, because Miss Joe's husband is Don Juan. So we have Don Juan and Mike Juan. That's not... The bird thinks it's hilarious. So there she is so far. And like I said, her back is goofy, but I will probably just paint the whole back. Now, like I said, we can take and we can bend the ears because we put that wire in them. So if you wanted to bend it beforehand and just do one like with a real floppy ear, you could do that. And then you could have crackled that part and leave one up. And we're going to put a flower right here, or a little bow. We're going to make like a little foofy bow. I need my bow maker right there, please. All right, so for my bow, we're going to make it a rustic bow. If I can get all my things together that just keep falling. Not going to have a whole lot in it because we don't want to huge and overwhelm Miss Bunny Kraken. Miss Kraken Bunny. Your wand quit? We can't allow him to do that. I knew I hadn't seen him in a while. All right, this is Sari Silk. It comes from Amazon. It's just like silk ribbon. It's a lot like bias tape. And a lot of people do take bias tape or hemming tape and they unfold it and then they tea stain it or whatever, if it's cream or white color. I'm just going to start out by putting a couple of little loops in here. It does have knots, and this Sari is S-A-R-I, if you're not familiar with it.
Yes, Burlap and Lace, she has her own craft
Yes,
room.
I'm in my own craft room. I am in my little world. I will, once we get the big barn made, I will be doing a room out there and probably moving it out of the house just to get all the... So we have room for a visitor if they come, because my adult children have all been here. We're just going to do a couple of loops of this, guys.
Hey, Beth. Thank you, Beth Price, for stopping by. We'll see you later, Beth.
Thanks, hon.
Check out the replays.
And guys, while Miss Jo is down a little bit, I just am pulling the loops to make sure they're long enough for what I want. Make sure that you go in and go back and watch some old replays that you maybe haven't watched in a year or so even. And just make sure that you do that, because that helps her page a lot. Now, this is cheesecloth. I get mine from the canning department at Walmart. It comes in, you get like 4 square yards, which is quite a lot of cheesecloth for like $4.97 or $5.97. So it's cheaper than going and buying it like on a bolt or something like that if you can find it. And sometimes you can't find it. And then I use the coffee grunge on it. Now it comes wide, so you kind of have to cut it in strips. It does not tear along the normal lines that we like material to tear on. As open weave as it is, it just kind of goes wonky. This is what I mean. If you try to do it, it just won't tear. So you kind of pretty much have to cut your little strips. So I'm just going to cut one long strip here, and we're just going to use it and see how far we get with loops. This is kind of going to make our bunny a little rustic. It kind of takes it out of the foofiness. Yes, I do a lot of shabby chic on our page. Hello, Miss B. How are you, hon? Welcome to Jo's page, and thank you for stopping by. Miss Jo is in the comments, but not quite able to do a live yet.
Hey, Vina.
So I'm just cutting a little strip of this, and it will wad up, and I'm okay with that.
And Ms. Vina, you are never late, hon.
We don't do late. We do thank you for being here, period. It doesn't matter to us what time you come.
Good evening, Eminem. How you feeling today, hon?
Good evening, Mary. And like I said, guys, I will be on my page at 12:15 Eastern time tomorrow. It's an add-on. I wasn't going to do a live tomorrow. I was going to be off, but that got added today, so I am doing that. And like I said, I'm just taking this cheesecloth that I've tea stained and made a mess out of. It's actually coffee stained, not tea stained. And we just cut a strip out. And I left the big piece. I could have done it ahead of time, but I didn't, so you guys could see. Yes, we are glad that she's making some headway, Miss B. And then I'm just going to make the loops just like we did with the sari silk.
We have a question on the page.
Okay.
Debbie Ann said, Cheryl, did you put a tie string in?
No. Okay, we're just going to raise it up part way. Debbie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good grief, Charlie Brown. You're supposed to put a tie string in your bow maker first. Now, some people don't use a bow maker. I sometimes do and sometimes don't. It depends on if it's in arm's reach or if Mr. Mike is here. So.
When do you need Linda M?
All right, so we're just going to kind of feed this through here. And pray it comes out the other side. Which it doesn't act like it wants to.
You have something hard to feed it through with?
Yep, that's what I'm getting. We're going to see if we can get this sucker in here. If not, we'll put it in after we're done. You know what? I'm just going to pick this up and hold it. Put my jute in there. You can use jute, you can use ribbon, guys.
Or you can use Pain Do-It straps.
Or they don't do so well on material. Okay, now we're back in business. Thank you, Debbie. I would have been going, what am I going to tie it with when I got that far? But never fear. My people don't ever let me down. You guys are so awesome. I appreciate you so much. Hey, Barb Turner, thank you for jumping on Burlap and Lace Chic. My name is Cheryl, and I'm from M&C Treasures. Miss Jo is in the comments, unless she is getting really, really tired, guys, and that is just affecting her something fierce. And then the other thing I'm going to put in is this crochet. If you're ever at Dollar Tree and they have it, grab it. You use it in so many things, guys, because it has actually, it's machine crocheted, but it is crocheted cotton lace ribbon. And it is wonderful to do in bows that you're doing like shabby chic or anything like that.
We have a question on the page.
Okay.
Excuse me. Linda M's asks, what is the recipe for a coffee grind? I forgot. I made it this, but I haven't used it in a while.
If you, it's 1 cup of hot water to a half a cup. If the way I do it is a half a cup of instant coffee. Just use the cheapo coffee from Walmart or Dollar Tree or anywhere. You don't need good coffee for it. And then 2 tablespoons of vanilla and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. If you don't care for cinnamon and have ground cloves or pumpkin spice, both of those work as well. It's just something to give it that little bit of a smell and a little bit more of a dark color. So that's where we are with our bow. Now I'm going to take my string that Miss Debbie reminded me to put in, and we backtracked a little bit. And here's what I do, guys. If I got my 2 strings, this is just something, and it works for all kinds of things to tie knots. If you've got it, cross it over and put it through, and then do it one more time. Take the one that you put through and do it through it again.
We have another question on the page.
And then just pull as tight as you can. This is an off-ray bow maker, Mary. It is, I had a sweet friend send it to me right after I started making bows, and I haven't used the ones that you put in here that you use with a real tiny lace. You can make all kinds of woven things with it. I just have not, and it does have a cover that goes on it. I know a lot of the gals use bow dabbers, but I use that one, and they come out just as good.
Or it can stretch from, make it wider.
Right, and if you are wanting to make one of the real foofy bows, hello Paula Hogue, you can stretch it out, and you can measure make sure that your loops are getting smaller and are the same size from side to side if you want to make a big bow. So it'll make a 16-inch bow across if you wanted to with that. All right, so now I have my tie, and I did it really tight, and I'm just going to tie one more knot to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. And again, if you missed the beginning, you missed that we crackled on brown Kraft like sacks. Mine was actually a packing sheet of stuff. Now I got to get all my tails going the right direction. And like I said, we're just going to put this up on Bunny's ear, and we may have to trim some of the stuff hanging down because I don't want it to cover up her eye that I actually didn't do too shabby of a job painting, if I should say so myself. But guys, make sure you go back and watch if you've got a crafter that you're used to watching and they are having problems, you know, health problems, any kind of problems, and not being able to go live, go in and watch some of their videos. That goes for myself. That goes for Miss Jo. It goes for Miss Sheila. Anybody that's on here as their page name. And guys, if somebody's on here as their page name, please check them out if you're not familiar with them. I know Miss Sheila and Miss Jo and myself, we kind of run in the same group of a lot of our friends and family that are on our page. So a lot of us do have the same friends. So, but if not, Miss Jo would love to have you, and I would love to have you. All right, so I just put that up there, and now I'm just going to hold it there a second while I get out. I was going to get out a button. I changed my drawers around and can't find anything. Okay, this is crazy. What did I do with my buttons? There they are. I wasn't expecting them that high for sure. On something rustic, I kind of like using buttons Hey Sarah, how are you? Welcome to Burlap and Lace Chic. If you're not familiar with Miss Jo's page, I am not Miss Jo. But you're welcome to stay here. And if you're new to her, I would love to have you tap the screen and go into the upper right-hand corner and make sure you do those three little dots and do a little follow. Now, I'm just going to give him or her, I guess it's a her because it's a bow. This is mixed buttons for myself, my mother, my grandmother, and if I am at an auction or something and they have buttons, I'm on it. Don't need them probably, but that's okay. You know, we all have a thing going on. I'm thinking this gold one, and then I'll put a little bit of black on it to tone it, or brown paint on it to tone it down a tad. Because it's a little shiny for what I want to do.
Hey, sissy.
Thank you, Sarah. Which sissy?
Doris.
Hey, my sister Doris. Okay. Like I said, some of the people are on our page, even though we got it shared over there, but actually didn't get to go live on both. But hey, we'll get there. Okay. Like I said, we bent down her ear, just something cute. You can leave her ear up, but I kind of like it down, and I may go ahead and crackle that, and it would just be, I'm going to just leave the paper on and crackle on top of it. In fact, we probably will do that right now. And there's her little bow, and this is Crackle Bunny. I think that's what we called her. Is that what we called her?
Bunny be cracking.
Bunny be cracking. I will get that eventually. All right, let me put a little bit of glue on the back side of this ear where I folded it down real quick. See, projects do evolve. Trust me.
Now I know why she has me around, folks, so I can tell her what's going on.
Yeah, I miss what's going on sometimes. So I'm just putting right on this, and we'll see now if it for sure will let us see that brown craft paper through it.
It looks like Burlap and Lace and Chic will be on tomorrow at 1 if she has to crawl down the stairs.
Okay, Miss Jo said regardless whether she has to crawl down the stairs or what, she will be on at 1 tomorrow, and I think she is, are you Eastern or Central Time, Miss Jo?
Hey, Pam T.
Thanks, Pam. Now, I am drying this just a little bit to see if that makes a difference, not with the crackle necessarily, but with the bag not wanting to dry very well. I think it's just that we got too much wet layers on it. Okay.
She is Eastern.
Thank you. So, guys, 1 p.m. tomorrow Eastern, same time, or different time, same place. Come back and watch Miss Jo. She'll be back.
Yes, Miss Linda, I know.
It is nice for to be wanted, right? Okay. It's not 100% dry because you don't dry it all the way if you're going to do crackle. It's not going to work. And then we're just going to take our white paint and put it over that ear and try to see if it's going to crackle. And if not, it's just going to be that the back of his ear doesn't crackle. And I'm just putting a good layer of this white acrylic paint on.
Burlap, Lace, and Chic. Does dinner include that?
What is that?
She said, yes, Mike, I need a new man for comments.
Ah! As long as you feed him, he's there. Trust me. He likes to eat. And he's not big at all. He's a tiny little guy.
Oh, she said yes.
Okay, then he's ready.
Well, wait a minute. How long do I have to drive?
All the way to Atlanta.
Uh-uh.
He doesn't like to go down by Atlanta.
Hotlanta.
He calls it Hotlanta, especially in the summertime. And it is going to crackle, but you just don't see a different color behind it. It just kind of crackles. I'll show you.
Wait a minute.
See where it's starting to crackle on this folded ear? It's just so that brown doesn't jump out at you with the little bit of whimsy I wanted to give it.
I thought you were cooking.
He thought you were going to cook, Miss Jo. You don't know her. She doesn't like to cook. Hello, Kelly Rice, my dear. How are you? Yes, isn't it nice, Terry Ann, that she's doing better? Well, once she got the insurance going in the right direction with her meds, that might be the kicker to it all. Janice, Don's cooking. Mr. Michael cook if there's a grill available, he'll grill.
Hey, Terry and Derek from Canada.
Okay, now I want to just take a little bit of. No, well, we can do that. We're just going to take a little bit of rose gold metallic. It's deco art from Hobby Lobby.
Hey, Kelly.
It's Americana. It's not folk art, sorry. And I'm just going to put it on the end of my finger, and we're going to use it like a rub and buff. And we're just going to touch this little button, and I got too much on my finger, just to tone down some of that that gold. So now it's like a pink button, but it looks like it's woven basket. You can put a hanger on the back of it. I just had that piece of jute that I didn't use. And it doesn't need, you don't need to do any extra weight, make sure that you've got enough covered for weight, because this is just a paper sack and fiber fill. Trust me, it's going to be plenty. It's going to be plenty. And this one you're not going to see from the back.
Are you going to put a piece of material on that so it doesn't?
No, that's what I said. That I didn't need to because it was so lightweight. My husband remembers all the things that I usually do. If it were a heavier project, I would take a piece of ribbon or a piece of material and go and lay it over the end of this jute. If I have something close, I will show you what I'm talking about. We'll just show you what he's talking about in case you don't know why I do it. While the glue is wet, I just take a little strip of material or ribbon or whatever you got and lay it right over that glue puddle that your jute is in. And that helps so that when you pick up your hanger, when you hang it, it's not pulling on just that one little strand of jute. It's pulling on that whole little strip of material. Back of the thigh, need to make it look like it is finished. Yes, I will paint the back all white. Since I laid it in white paint and the front of it is white, I will paint this whole entire back just a regular white without crackle. You could go to it and do white crackle. That's, if you wanted to crackle the back, that's fine too.
You know what? For the mouth, you could have just put 2 buck teeth.
And Mike wants her to have buck teeth. Our baby is pretty. She's not got buck teeth. You could, if you didn't want to paint the back, you could just go to the point of putting felt over it. You could do anything like that. Thank you, Pam. So we're just going to throw some white paint on here. And then I'll hold her up. And I'm just painting right over that material that I put down and everything. Just so she still looks finished in the back.
She's been to the dentist.
Yep, she went to the dentist and got her orthodontic work done and got rid of those buck teeth. I think that's who would take care of that. I don't think they would pull them. I just don't think they...
No, they would actually open up the mouth and shave them down. Just like horse teeth.
My husband, he doesn't have buck teeth. He hasn't had. Yep, it is. It's a different thing, and we have cooked more since we've moved because it is a good half hour for us to get anywhere that has any kind of food, and more usually.
We found one restaurant in 2.5 months that we've been here that we like the food though.
That we would go back to. We are not crazy about many of the restaurants down here. And we've tried a bunch of them. So I've been cooking at home more, and that's good.
There's one restaurant that we like. It's called Gondoliers. If I said that right?
Yep. It's an Italian place, and I don't know if it's a chain. I don't know if it's just down here in Tennessee. I'm not real sure. I haven't looked to see if they were a nationwide chain. I've never heard of them up in Illinois for sure before we moved. So does anybody around here have Gondolier as a restaurant? It's an Italian restaurant.
Burlap Lace and she said we have them. She said Greek or Greek.
It says that it's Greek, and they do have pitas, they do have gyros. But I had a calzone that was out of this world. So it is cheaper. You're right, Miss Pam. And we do save money cooking at home, I'm here to tell you. And Mr. Mike likes the food better, so.
Yeah, because I could eat in my underwear.
And you don't have to get dressed up to go out, that's for sure, too. So I'm thinking it must be a southern chain. And then our bird is laughing at us and telling us good night because I bet his light is not on.
No, his light is on.
So like I said, we did pinkingshires around the face of it. You could do pinkingshires all the way around. So now the back is just all white with the little jute hanger. And like I said, I just painted right over those two little pieces of material that I put on. The ears do have wires in them so that they don't just flop in the breeze. And I'm just trying to hold it so I don't get the back all wet. And there is our little bunny wall hanging for you guys. And I just wanted to thank everybody that came on and gave support to Miss Jo's page. Hello, Deb. And again, guys, we started with, if you weren't here at the beginning, we started with wadded up brown Kraft packing paper. So think outside the box, totally outside the box. And then somebody wanted to see Crackled tonight on my page because I was going to go live on my page. And I said, well, we're going to try it. So I just stretched it out. Yes, it was wrinkled and everything, and that just gives it its own little texture. And thank you, Mary T. Its own little personality. So Miss Bunny Be Crackin' is happy to be here. And then we just did a little foofy bow with a button in the middle. And the ears we did paint pink for those of you who didn't come and weren't here at the beginning, but the replay's there. So Joe said, thank you, Cheryl, and my boyfriend, Mike. So Mike has 2 girlfriends online. Oh, no, we're in trouble.
No, you're in trouble.
He's in trouble. That's who's going to be in trouble. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you liked it. And I knew that people made like ice skates and stuff out of brown paper. So that's why I decided to try a bunny head and see what it looked like. So I think it's cute. Now, we could distress it more and even put, give it some brown grunge if you wanted. But I think she's cute just the way she is. So you guys, hello, Miss Renee. You guys have a blessed night. We love you. If you missed the beginning, go back and watch Bunny Be Crackin'. She's cracked and she's ready to go. So thank you guys for being here. We love you. God bless you and happy crafting. Hello, Miss Connie.